Welcome to my Presentation 5 for Dr. Lercher's LIBR266 class for San Jose State University. In defining what makes best quality for my high school collection, I use the Brearley School Library definition, which states, materials acquired should enrich and support students and faculty's research and recreational needs. Materials for students should be suitable in level of knowledge, maturity, and learning. They describe what this looks like in more specific terms here, talking about the lasting value of the content, the enduring interest in the subject, the strength of the present holdings, the value commensurate to cost and need, suitability of format, authority of author, high degree of potential user appeal, favorable reviews, quality and potential longevity of format, and holdings of nearby libraries. To determine how to balance the best quality and intellectual freedom of our students and faculty, we rely on the Freedom to Read statement written by the American Library Association, which reads in part, "It is the responsibility of publishers and librarians to give full meaning to the freedom to read by providing books that enrich the quality and diversity of thought and expression." Currently, in our collection management system, we have no way of dealing with challenges to our collection, which is something that we need to prepare for the upcoming year. Our digital collection is currently curated by external organizations. Our ebooks are managed through an ebook subscription service called eBrary from ProQuest. And we subscribe to databases from JSTOR and a variety of databases from Gale, Cengage Learning. Our print collection is also curated by external organizations. We subscribe to 2 book subscription services, one from Atlantis Subscriptions, which gets us paperback young adult fiction, and Junior Library Guild, which gives us hardback young adult fiction. And then the remainder of our print collection is curated by me. And I rely on a variety of publications to help me choose the best, including School Library Journal, Follett Tidal Wave, Choice, Amazon.com and New York Times book reviews. I also look at awards every year to determine what has been awarded best publications in a variety of areas and use that to guide my decisions to make my print purchases. My consideration file is somewhat haphazard and looks like this. It's a variety of sticky notes that I write down and put in a manila folder whenever I get a request for a book from a student or a faculty member. In this upcoming year, we're trying to make this a little bit more systematic and automated by actually putting a book request form on our website. Here it is right here. That will tabulate and organize the entries in a more systematic way for us to use and keep track of. Our book acquisition process looks like many libraries. We create a book order. The vendor sends us an invoice. We create a purchase order. And that can take, about a day. But then we need to get the principal's signature, the business services signature, the district office, and then the vendor will ship the books once the PO is complete. And that can take about 3 to 4 weeks. There's a faster way to get us the books if we need to rush an order, but that requires a different process. We create a book order, the librarian pays with a credit card, and then the librarian submits the reimbursement form, and then the vendor ships the books, and this will get us the books in 2 to 3 days. The time that it takes for the librarian to get reimbursed, though, can often take 3 to 4 weeks. When we receive our books, the processing system that we have is we get a book, and then we create the record using Follett. We attach our own barcode to the book. We have to create the spine label, the due date slip, we stamp it, we secure it with magnetic strips, and then we seal the book to protect it. And this process can take as little to, 20 minutes, and sometimes if we're really busy, though, it can take up to a week. We are increasing our patron access to reading resources. We have access to the public library collections on our website, both the Los Altos and Mountain View public libraries. We've entered into agreement with the Mountain View Public Library to give all our students e-library cards, which gives our students access to all the digital content on the Mountain View at the Mountain View Public Library. So this has increased their access tremendously. We also are increasing patron access to the best of the web through our LibGuide system, which we create for each school assignment that requires research. As well as we have a site that lists all the best free reference sites, again, curated by the American Library Association. In terms of our overall collection management system, I'd say we have some pros and cons, especially compared to the schools I talk to in class. I would say in terms of our system, we're very flexible and responsive, probably more so than the schools that I listened to last night in our classroom. We are not locked into any kind of spending schedule where we have to spend all our money by December. Our budget we can spend throughout the year, and we have different budgets coming from different sources. Our site budget, our PTA budget, now a new foundation budget, as well as sources of income that we get through our printing and crowdsourcing funding possibilities. So we can be very responsive and respond to book requests very easily. And we're also providing more access as well as ownership to different collections, whether that's the Mountain View Public Library or to the best of the web. And I feel like we're in a good place to kind of advertise those and make those easily found by the students. In terms of our cons, I'd say that our system isn't systemized, so it can be reactive, and it just, depending on the patron request, we will respond to those requests, which makes it feel a little haphazard, rather than being proactive and systemized in a way that helps us, identify sections that need to be built or maintained or decreased. We need to have a more systemized way of weeding and then generating special collection requests and goals and that sort of thing. This experience has also shown me how much of our collection is determined by outside forces, such as our vendors. I'd say probably 80% of our holdings are determined by outside vendors, and that's just something for me to think about. I'd like to have a little bit more control over the collection than I have now, and so I'm going to be looking at that in the future. So thank you very much for listening, and that's it.